To make it rich.
But first on 6 here at 10 o'clock, catching a suspected rapist. Police say Willie Walker nearly raped a woman at a motel, then stole her car and took officers on a 30-minute-long chase through Tulsa before they caught him.
News on 6 crime reporter Lori Fulbright says detectives also want to talk to him about an unsolved murder. Lori has tonight's top story.
Well, Terry and Scott, there are some things about this case that are similar enough to the unsolved rape and murder of Tulsa College student Brittany Phillips that police say they will look into it to see if Walker could be a suspect in that case.
The woman says when someone knocked on her motel room door, she thought it was her husband, so she opened the door a crack. She says Willie Walker forced his way inside, beat her, choked her, and tried to rape her. She says her ringing cell phone distracted him, so he grabbed the phone and her car keys and took off in her car. Officers caught up with him after a pursuit. Records show Walker was convicted as a youthful offender for walking into a home with people inside, grabbing some car keys and leaving. Records show while he was in the Radar program for teenage offenders, he was convicted of groping one of the women counselors. As soon as sex crimes detectives got this new case, they called homicide detective Jeff Felton.
Yeah, any kind of similar crime, detectives and other units will routinely come to me and they'll tell me, hey, you might want to look at this guy in relation to Brittany's case.
Brittany is Brittany Phillips, a college student who was raped and strangled in her apartment in 2006. That case remains unsolved despite a massive investigation. In that case, there was also forced entry, also choking, also sexual assault. It's enough for them to check out Walker.
I think anybody that would be out there, peeping in windows, committing any kind of sex crime, a burglar, would be somebody that we would want to investigate and see if maybe they were in the area where Brittany lived when that happened.
Police say they've looked at hundreds of people and have DNA in the national database, and they'll continue to follow each and every possible lead until they find their killer.
I absolutely feel that whoever killed Brittany is still out there and maybe, committing the same kind of crimes, and one day we're going to catch them.
Of course, the first step will be to see if Walker was in or out of prison at the time of Brittany's murder, or if he was even in the Tulsa area. Detective Felton has personally collected DNA samples from more than 100 men in hopes of solving Brittany Phillips' murder, and he says each new person of interest that pops up on their radar, they will investigate. Lori Fulbright, the News on